Wow, I never had that happen before. My phone literally ran out of data. I don't mean like the data you buy every month. I mean storage. I'm like, what? My phone? Why would it overheat? It was a countdown. Still, I erased a bunch of videos I have in my video section of my phone. Still 42 minutes. In 42 minutes, my phone's going to tell me no more recording. I looked. There's 2 years of storage on here, and there's like yearling videos from 2 years, like Sweet on Pete's yearling video when I went and looked at her at the farm is on my phone. So that's pretty cool. I had to erase some of them. Here's what it is. So as I was saying, a lot of people wondering where the horses are. So right now we're looking at moving horses around. I told you guys I was not going to put up with LD's Patrick being fed into those races again. It's just not. This horse in particular has to get tired at some point, and he's most definitely going to get tired chasing horses that are a little bit better than he is right now. And looking at the condition sheet, I want to blame Mohawk, but it's not Mohawk's fault. There's the Open, the backup class, the class he's in, and the class he came out of. Those are the ones that are kind of filling right now. But we have the ability to move to mitigate that, right? Case in point. Now, I know, it sucks to pay the shipping to get a horse to the Meadows, but if we can race him at the Meadows for the next 2-3 weeks, and even if he ends up in the Open and he can do over there, it's certainly not like the Open at Mohawk. If he can do over at the Meadows, that's great. When he gets tired over there, Schaefer Farm's 45 minutes away. It's just a better fit. It's not always going to work out. There's going to be times where you get a Levitor in New York where it's a disaster, and other times you're going to get like a Patrick the Piranha or Simba in New York. We're going to have to. We're not always going to be right. But we are going to be right sometimes. And when we are, it's a good feeling. I got to get gas too. Come all the way here. So I left Ohio and I'm like, I'm not really that hungry yet. You know what? I'm going to stop in Angola and get Subway. 6:33. Subway's closed in Angola. I can only imagine because they don't have people to work past 6 o'clock at night, which is insane. But so I had stuff to eat McDonald's, of all things. McDonald's. Whatever. As I was saying before the video stopped, Sailor, number of these horses, everybody's like, where are they at? Where are they at? Why are they waiting? So that we have a number of horses that we're trying to mitigate issues. Even Steve and I have a horse, the crew chief, his GGT was higher than any other horse in the barn. Gonna look to school him. He should have been racing by now. Gonna look to school him tomorrow if we can. If I can, I'm gonna warm him up. If he feels strong, I'm gonna qualify, school him. If not, he's not going again. Sailor was the same thing. His feet were a problem. His GGT jumped up. His Billy Rubin jumped up. We got them down now. Dominic was happy with the way he trained. He was entered. He didn't get in. Class didn't go or was carried over, potentially. But he'll race next week. He'll race next week. Fielding. Somebody just asked me if a horse was for sale. So it never hurts to ask. I appreciate people sending me the emails, but when I get the emails, it makes me feel like I'm not doing my job informing everybody. Happy with Slim Jimmy last night. We talk about all the horses that are racing, but sometimes I don't talk about enough about the ones that aren't. I see a bunch of people dump their shares of High Gear No Fear. I can't blame you. He hasn't been off to a great start for us since we bought him, but at the same token, he raced good 2 starts ago and then raced horrible his last start. I told you guys he was sick. He's in to go tomorrow, I think. Seems to be fine. So we got a lot going on at the stable. And these emails are for me to be fielded and answered. So in regards to Renegade Gypsy, racing Wednesday, back Friday. In regards to Resolute Bay, racing Thursday, back Friday at Grand River, a week from next Friday at Grand River. They'll be tight. They'll be ready to go. And keep in mind, it's nice to see them race every week, but they can't because they're going to get tired. And we don't want them tired at the end of the summer. So if you give us, we're trying to learn also. We've done this before, okay? He didn't get in Monday. We'll get him in somewhere else. Take your time. We got, for the 3-year-olds, 16 to 20 starts max, and they're tired. Let's race in the 16 best places we can. So that's what we're trying to do. Not just get them in, but space it out a bit so they're comfortable. They're not tired. They're not getting tired. They're not taxed. Hopefully they're winning. And that's what we're going to continue to do. I know Sailor looked like he was going to kill everybody, and he looked great at the start. That horse is there. He's not gone. Let us get him back to that place and then let him grow from there. The horse that raced the other day, Stay Close, looks incredible. anybody on earth could see what went on down the lane, especially after I told you guys how well he trained. You know, these are horses that I don't talk about enough. You know, we have 100 and some horses, so I'm doing my best. And then the biggest problem I have, the Australian horses. And people all the time saying, what about the Australian? I don't get any info. None. Daniel does the best he can in Australia to give us info. We get the videos and updates from Darren, but we have other horses with other trainers. And the ones that we had, one or two that weren't going to be any good, we just got rid of them. Gave them away. So I'm not really happy with the way things in Australia went, but what are you going to do? I mean, what we do at the stable isn't for everyone. I get that, but I think that if everybody wants to move forward as a trainer, as an operator in this industry, then they're going to have to. And if you can't, you know what's going to happen. What's happened historically in the racing industry? People leave. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We do what we can. We know we have to monitor. We're not perfect. We have things that we have to take care of also. I have to make sure I get the information out of horses that aren't racing. Where are they racing? Why aren't they racing? When are they going to be in to go again? I have to keep an eye on a lot of things that aren't seen, right? Keep an eye on the vets. Keep an eye on a lot of bills that come in also. Keep an eye on our other trainers. Haven't really got a lot of info from some of them. We got our babies coming up. Biggest crop of babies we ever had. And I know, I looked at the bills too. The staking was a ton of money this year. You don't have to tell me, I paid it. Ton of money this year. But, as I just found out with World for Two, we had people call and offer money for World for Two, quietly and unofficially, softly. Maybe that's a surprise to some of my partners on the horse. The offer wasn't really good because the horse hasn't paid into anything, right? Not to say that you would have got a crazy amount of money for him, but the money we put in the front end of the staking, I've come to the realization that if we're going to sell the horses down the road, you have to look at that as front-loading your horse's worth. And if you don't, you're diminishing it. So, again, this is a really interesting part of the game that I never realized. I'm becoming increasingly frustrated with the broodmare side, I can tell you that. The financial portion of it is not my biggest concern. So there's lots of stuff going on, and you guys keep the emails coming in because it allows me to get better, right? When I hear stuff from you, it allows me to understand better what I need to do more of, or what we as the stable need to do more of. So I appreciate the input. I appreciate the emails. Hopefully your questions are answered. If they aren't, and if you watch these videos and they still aren't, pick up the phone and call me. Text me, send me an email or a message on social media. You know I'll get back to you. So with that, I'm going to have to load these when I get home. They're too long. We'll load these videos when we get home. You guys will be up to date after tonight. I'm going to watch some horses race on the way home. Of course, I'm going to pull over, watch them race on the way home, and maybe have a little feedback after that. But so far, so good. Third with 1-2 skip a few. Great mile for her. Take care, everybody.